Welcome, welcome. I'm Dee, and this is the Unguided Life where I am taking it one day at a time, bringing you guys along for the journey to hold me accountable as I budget my way through life. It is time for us to actually update the N.F.L Savings Challenge or the No Financial Loss Savings Challenge that I have been doing to help me reach my emergency fund goal in beyond. Okay, so I know I've been a little bit behind with updating it, and to be quite honest, the truth is I've been starting to become busy on Sundays. Like, where is that at? What universe has that ever happened? So I haven't been able to watch my team play in real time, and I feel kind of bad about it. But I have been a full-on support, wearing, you know, wearing my t-shirts, wearing my jerseys, wearing my colors, letting people know I am a Tennessee Titans fan. But I just haven't been watching you guys a lot, okay, in real time. So we need to update for game 13 and game 14 because we are like past that at this point. But I will let you know that based on my numbers from game 12, I was able to take a portion of that to apply towards reaching my emergency fund goals. So I am going to still update this spreadsheet with the numbers that I have actually saved for this challenge. I will not be moving that money into my savings account, the one that's for my emergency fund, until like after this challenge is done. So that's the reason why I'm going to keep updating here, just to let you know how much I actually saved doing this challenge, with hopes that you will join me next year, because this is one I am going to keep in rotation. You hear me? I am going to keep this in rotation, and hopefully next year it'll be a lot more me watching the game in real time with hopes of actually making it to a home game. I've been to away games, but I haven't been to a home game. So I definitely want to be able to do that in the near future. I was hoping it was going to be this year, but my plans got switched. So I end up going to opposite direction of, of where my stadium is at for this upcoming game. So let's go ahead and get into this. This is a spreadsheet I created for myself. And this spreadsheet here allows for me to not only show you my team, the rules, the rivalries, and how much I am actually saving each time we play. So game 13 was actually played on December 12th, and that was against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Now, those Jacksonville Jaguars are our divisional rivalry. I would say it's our number one rivalry, to be quite honest. I don't know. I'm gonna say it again because I think I said it before. It's their fans. I don't even think it's them. I think it's their fans that causes us to be like, oh, they just be so diehard and like, your team just sucks. But if you're gonna keep on going hard for it, go hard for it, okay? And of course my phone is on because it's right here next to me. You may hear other noises, but hopefully when all of this speech means nothing, because you won't hear, because I'll mask it somehow. So let's get into the game. So for every game, we always save $20. Now for this particular game, we scored one touchdown in the first quarter and another touchdown in the third quarter. So that gives us 2 touchdowns for a total of $10. I'm not going to talk about any defensive or special teams touchdowns, regardless if it happens. The reason is I'm not watching the game in real time, and to be quite honest, even the recordings, I'm not watching it in real time. Sometimes I'd go back and do it, but I just really haven't had time. Have y'all ever had a situation where it seemed like you clean, but then when you look back, it's still stuff there? It's like, what the hell, is it growing by itself? Well, that's my situation. I do a thorough clean, a deep clean of one room, and then I can come back later on that day, and then it's still a whole bunch of stuff to do there. So I've been going on like a constant cycle, but I really need to get my house in order, because I have a thing about how I like my house to look when it's time to go over in the new year, and I really need it to be good. So with all that being said, we're not going to talk about if there was any defensive or special teams touchdown, but we're going to give them a kudos if it has. Of course, my kicker, he doesn't kick over 50 yards. I haven't seen anything. I think the closest I seen was a 44 one, but I'm not going to even look to see if he was being great either. So we're going to put a 0 there. It is a rivalry game, so we're going to put 20 there. We did win that game, but we lost the game before, so we're not going to account for that as a win streak. So we're going to put 0 there. And then it's not a championship game nor a wild card berth, so we didn't secure any of that. So at this present time, but we still never won our division, so we're good to go. And then lastly, it wasn't a blowout, okay, for us. Even for them, like we were like 1 point off. The score was 0 them, 21 us. So 20 us. So we were just like 1 point off. So I could have been petty if we had made that extra point or more. I would have been like, let me put that $10 there because we blew them out. But no, that's fine. We won't, add insult to injury because they're already dealing with the upset of a loss of a coach. So let's not do that. So for game 13, the total is $50. We're going to add that to our total, and that gives us $580. So let's talk about game 14. Game 14 was actually played against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, though the Steelers is a rivalry, they're just another rivalry. I think it has more so to do with history, and not so much more. I don't have any issue with this team in general, okay? So for this particular game, we're going to do every game gets a 20. Now for touchdowns, we only scored 1 touchdown. Now, I was able to watch the first half of this game, and I guess I got like laxy daisy and said, you know what, we're doing good. We can't do any worse, right? Well, that's not true. And I'll tell you why that's not true. First, we only did 1 touchdown, okay? And then we turned into soccer players, so our kicker was doing some kicking. And then I stopped watching, and then the Steelers, I started watching around the 4th, but the early part, like between the 3rd and 4th quarter. So I know that they had scored, but I was under the impression that we were going to score again. So we were good in the hood, but we didn't. So we're going to put a 0 there because we don't know about any of these 2 items. They're not a rivalry, divisional rivalry, so I'm not going to add anything there. It's not a win streak because we actually lost that game. We still don't know about these 2 items, the championship and a wild card berth. Luckily, this was not a blowout, so our score was 13 to their 19, so we're good to go with that. It was just an upset because you had a lead. But sometimes I know with this particular team, I have noticed the history of us like starting off strong and then losing our steam. So I should have, assumed that, but I did. So with all that being said, for game 14, we have a total of 25. That's going to add to the pot of $605. So let's give a heads up. So we have game 15, 16, and 17. Game 15 is actually going to be played on December 23rd. So I don't see myself watching that game or listening to that game because of what I'll be actually doing on that day. Next, we have game 16, which is going to be played on January 2nd. Another instance where I don't see myself being able to listen or watch the game at that present time. So game 15 and 16 probably will not be updated until the new year, and possibly won't be updated into game 17. So I definitely don't see, I'm trying to think, but I don't believe I have anything locked in on the 9th, and which is game 17, January 9th. So I believe that I'll be able to watch that game in real time as well as update game 15, 16, 17 to conclude this challenge, and to then make my decision on what I'm going to do with the remaining amount that I've saved towards this challenge and where it needs to go. I have a couple ideas of where I want it to go, but I want to make sure it creates an impact in the long run for myself. So we will find out what that would be January 9th. Alright, y'all. In the meantime, in between time, peace.